Hello, welcome to a first look at Source of Madness. This is a what did they describe it as? Let me pull it up. I did a little research and clicked off of the Steam page. This game is a side-scrolling dark action roguelite in a Lovecraftian inspired world. That's how they describe it. I think that that is generally a good enough description for me. I'm not going to give you any more than that. So this game has been in early access for I'm not sure how long, but has released today on the 11th. It's a side-scrolling roguelike. I think the game that this is closest to that I would say is probably Salt and Sanctuary if you played that. Now, I don't know how close it is because I didn't play a lot of Salt and Sanctuary, but you know, I've played about 30 minutes of this game. It took me a little bit to get used to it. I'm gonna give you. I wanna preface this. This is the first game that I feel like I have some real major design conflicts with or design issues with. So I want to preface by giving you those so you can know that. Basically, you can skip through this video if you think these are a problem. I have two main problems. This game has an insane visual clarity problem to the point where I was playing this game, and I play all my games. I've not really had any trouble with this until now. I had to turn the brightness on my monitor all the way up because there is no brightness setting in the options as far as I could tell, and I just couldn't see anything. Like I was looking as close as I could. I could not discern anything. So I think that's a problem. And I guess that's the only major problem I have. The other problem I have, which is remediable, is that this game is extremely loud. I turned the audio down to half, and then I also turned it down in my volume mixer to like, well, I keep all my audio at 50 in my volume mixer and then adjust according to that. I had to turn this game down to like 10, and it's still like pretty loud. However, with those problems out of the way, the real big one is the visual clarity issue. I think that things look kind of samey and blend into the background a lot, and I think that the darkness is a big issue that I'm surprised you don't really have an option to fix. But if those things don't put you off, or you're really into the Lovecraft style, I think this game might be something you're interested in. It is an action roguelike, but it has a little bit of like a Path of Exile or Diablo style to it too, with the way that you pick up stuff in the world. It's kind of weird because I feel like this game would have made more sense as not a roguelite to me, but I digress. It seems really weird to me that this game is a roguelite. You'll see when we get in. I was very shocked though, because like at first I was like, damn, these runs are gonna be long, right? I'm not sure. You'll get a feel for it. But like you pick up gear and you pick up items and things like that, and your character has a bunch of stats. There's no leveling, I guess, but I feel like that personally, I feel like this game would have made more sense as a non-roguelite. But I'm not the one in charge. Other than that, one of the other things that the developers of the game put on the Steam page is that this is powered by procedural generation and AI machine learning. So I don't really know what that's going to mean for the game. Uh, I will see if I can discern it. I wonder if they have anything. Ah, the horrific. I see. The horrific monsters you face are never the same because they're concocted with procedural generation. So the enemies themselves are procedurally generated and they're animated using a neural network, according to Steam. That's cool. Huh. That's pretty cool, actually. Oh, and also, okay, so the game looks kind of weird because it's an AI assisted art style, too. I'm sorry, I'm just reading the Steam page off to you at this point, but like, huh, that's neat. So it's like it's procedurally generating everything. Anyway, I'm gonna get into the game here. So first I'll go through the options menu. You already saw the audio menu. They have I do appreciate highly customizable options. It's very nice to have an options menu that isn't just on off for the volume. I wish that the sliders had numbers to give me some sort of idea of what these were, but that's a very minor thing. You can kind of take a guess. Graphics. You can, I think that it auto detects because this is full screen, but you can increase or decrease you can increase or decrease the actual resolution you want to play at. Cool, sure. Right on. There's a lot of them too. How about it? I believe I am 1920 by 1080 at 60. There's a quality slider. Ah, I see. Ultra, sure. Oh, it goes off of quality when you. Let's see. There's screen shake, which I have already turned off. UI scaling if you need it. I have no idea what Asus Aura is. I have no clue what this is, but, you know. Languages. All right, here you go. Here's your favorite part of the video and mine. Because there's one here that I don't recognize. So of course you got English, German, French, Spanish, Portuguese, Italian. I'm pretty sure that's Russian. This is that Japanese? I feel like that's Japanese. This is Korean, and this is Chinese, I'm pretty sure. Now I have to cheat. I have no idea what language this is. It looks like it might be like Hebrew, but I don't think that's right. What is it? That is not that language. This language is not listed on the Steam page. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. They have 10 languages listed on the Steam page. This language, whatever it is not listed here. I don't think it's Hebrew. I don't know what this is. I have no idea. I don't even have a guess. So, you know. Take your guess if you know. I have no idea. Please do tell me, because I would love to know. I really enjoy learning about languages, so that's why I love this so much. But there's your languages, and then they do have Bindable Controls. This game, I think it said it released on all consoles, so I think this might be on Xbox and such, but this is on PC, it's on Steam, and it's keyboard and mouse. You can also assign controller. I'm pretty sure this game is intended to be played with controller, however, I will be playing with keyboard and mouse because that's who I am at this point. I don't know, I just don't feel like pulling out my controller. It doesn't, unless it's like super designed for it, which I think it's mostly designed for it. I'm gonna do a quick check. I'm gonna pause the video here and I will be right back. I meant to check if this was releasing on consoles as well. One sec. Hello, I am back. I had to hunt down their release trailer for this, but this game is releasing on Steam, the Switch, Xbox, Xbox One. Sorry, this is Xbox Series X and Xbox One, PS4, and PS5. Lastly here, I forgot to tell you how much this game is. It is currently $20 on Steam. I do not have an estimate for you on how long the game is, though. Oh, here's the early access release date. This went into early access September of last year. Wow, so this was a short early access cycle. That's like 10 months. Wowee. Cool. Alright. I think all of that out of the way, let's begin. I will check. I haven't been checking for other games, but I'll check if this one has a Humble link, and if it does, I will put that in the description, as well as where you can get it on Steam. I will probably not be putting the other platforms because I don't know where to find that, but I suggest, or I expect that you'll be able to find it yourself. Also, you can join their Discord. They got the link. Very hip these days. So, 3 save files. I played this one today for about 30 minutes. I'm going to start a new game, and then I'm going to hop into this save file. I want to start the new game because I want you to see the opening cutscene, because this game has a very big, like, atmospheric story focus, I feel, where you're supposed to really get into it. So I don't want to rob you that by jumping right in. I want you to be able to experience this intro cutscene, because I feel like this sets the tone pretty heavily. So I will be quiet, and you can enjoy.
Far up in the skies, on those baleful, moon-cursed nights, you can see the towers of madness staring back menacingly.
Very loud, isn't it?
Must open the third gate to give access to the moon once more. We do this unwillingly, but we must.
I will be turning this down a little bit going forward, because I did not realize how loud it was. So after they do that, they run you through the tutorial. This is where I was talking about. You can see it already. It is like, oh buddy, is dark. If I have turned my brightness on this monitor like max, and it's still hard to see. Turn it down. Actually, I'm just gonna turn these down like half. Not half, like a quarter. Or like that much. If I make it, I might make it too quiet. I've noticed that my audio balancing is like when it's slightly too loud for me is when it's good for you guys. But so I'm gonna hop out of this now. I just wanted to show you that cutscene because I feel like they're going for a very specific tone, and that tone is set very well by that cutscene. And now I'm gonna hop into this one. I played like half of a run and then abandoned the run for the video because I didn't want to play anymore. So, or not, I didn't want to play anymore, but I wanted to do this video before I went further, more accurately, more correctly. I didn't want to go like an hour or 2 hours in. So, we start by picking our character. Right now, we only have one class unlocked, which is the Generalist, and you can look at, they have all of these stats. Remember when I said this is very, I feel it is reminiscent of a game like Path of Exile or Diablo? This is why. Look at this screen. So you start with 2 rings, which are your basic attacks. So we have the basic copper ring, which does damage, and then the slash ring. These are just attack patterns. You'll learn as we go. And then each character has different ones. So this guy starts with slash and arcane burst, for example. I don't know what the diamonds mean, but the timer is the cooldown between attacks. I'm going to try this character because I'm really interested in this basic copper ring. I feel like having a ranged weapon is good. Or no, I'm not going to go with this character because they have lower health but higher resistance. Oh, but I hate the cooldown reduction down, never mind. And also the generalists have this ability where when you dash, you leave behind a cloud of corrupt magic, which makes enemies take more damage in the dash. I think that this is cool. And it's fun. And this is like their class ability, so I'm going to play this guy. I hope it's not still too loud. I'm just going to leave it like this, and if I'm too quiet, I apologize. So this is your upgrade tree. You get this red resource from playing the game, and then this is where you spend your meta progress stuff. So I'll go through it a little bit here. The first thing you unlock is Generalist, which is the new class that I'm playing. The Cloud of Corrupted Magic will last for a longer time, only affects the Generalist. And then up here we unlock Icemancer, Stormcaller. And I have about 800 of this stuff after one run, or like, not even one run, but like 30 minutes of playing. And about 10 minutes of my 30 minutes of playing, we're trying to figure out where to go in the tutorial. So, unlock, so like there's, let's see how many classes there are actually. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you also can unlock new gear, the Wave of Blood, new ring, new spell basically. But this is it's a pretty well fleshed out tree, and a lot of this stuff is like new gear that'll unlock and then drop in the world, or new classes it looks like, or passives for your classes like this generalist one. Stormcaller, Heart of a Star. Chance on hit to summon a thundercloud. Ah, that's cool. Yeah, so some of this stuff looks really fun. Increase your critical hit chance versus burning monsters. Chance to summon an unstable bomb when doing a crit hit. Like, some of this stuff looks really fun, I think. I was a little skeptical of the gameplay itself at first, but I started to have fun once I got a little further into a run. So, bottom left here, we have our health bar, and we have our, basically our loadout. So the characters have a dash. I guess this will be my other main gripe with this game right now. And I think that this is a product of me playing on keyboard and mouse. This is not a game where you dash towards your cursor. And I guess I get it because it would be kind of awkward to dash while also attacking enemies. But I would much rather like shoot and then dash rather than dash. You dash in the direction you're moving. I think mostly it's just awkward because if I want to go like up left or up right, I have to be moving that way as well. Which it gets a little bit clunky to me. But it's okay. I think, again, play on controller and you won't have this problem. We have a double jump from the start. Very cool. I will be doing a lot of double jumping, and you can dash through some things. And then we have our weapon, which we have here, which is the... I don't know, what was it called? The copper ring? The basic copper ring, just like a range 3 to 5 damage. And we have a right click, which is a slash, which just goes out from you. And then if we dash, we also leave behind this cloud of corrupted magic, which will do damage to enemies. There's a bunch of characters. This is basically our hub world, and there's a bunch of dudes to talk to around here. We can dash around a bit as well. Feels a little zoomed in, doesn't it? I don't know. I'll talk to this guy. Oh, this is the other one. So yeah, the other thing I unlocked is choose between 3 cultists at the start. This is free. Ah, this guy spends... This is where you spend your blue money. I don't actually know where you get this. I assume from fighting enemies as well. A life flask that can be used once per level. Sure. What's that? Oh, cool. Feel a little Healy boy. Once per level. Nice. That's cool. Like I'm saying, this feels to me like what if we made a roguelike Diablo or roguelite Diablo as a 2D side scroller, which, like, you know, a lot of concessions there, but it feels very similar to me to like more Path of Exile. But yeah. So this is our hub world. There's a lot of people we can talk to here, and there's a lot of exploring. This place is very big. I will give you a little bit of a tour of it, but here's the other thing. I want to point this out as well. When I was talking about visual clarity, this is the sort of thing that I'm feeling. These stairs are climbable, and to me, they extremely look like they blend into the background. I think that it's just a product of the art style itself, but I think that it's a little confusing at first, and it took me a little bit to get my bearings. Once you get your bearings, I think it's fine. There was a really big offender of this, though, in the tutorial, where there's a ladder that's, like, leaned up on a bookshelf, and the bookshelf is not climbable. Like, you can't land on the bookshelf shelves, but you can climb the ladder. And I probably spent about 5 minutes running around trying to figure out what the hell to do before I accidentally jumped on the ladder. So just be aware. I think that this game definitely has some accessibility issues if you have trouble with things like that. Be wary of that. And if you're willing to overlook it for the aesthetic, I mean, the game's aesthetic is pretty on point. I feel like they hit what they're going for here very well. I just want to caution you that it is a little bit tricky in places. No fall damage as far as I can tell. You can also drop through platforms. These are like little platforms similar to like the platforms in Rogue Legacy, I guess. Again, going to be doing a lot of comparing to Rogue Legacy, but let's go start the run. I think this is where I start the run. If we read these, this is like lore stuff. I apologize, but I am not a lore gamer right now. I, for one, I'm not a huge Lovecraft fan. I don't hate it, but I'm not super into the madness horror lore. It's fine. It's really how I feel about it. It's just fine. But now we get into the world proper. It is big, from what I can tell, what I can grasp here. This is like level 1. I'm assuming that... Oh, hey, I didn't see that guy there. Pardon me, mister. So our spells have a cooldown on them. First and foremost, you can see a cooldown in the bottom left. It's a little bit... I guess you can... I actually want to see how big the UI gets now that I'm in here. Turn it up a little bit now. That cutscene was just really loud, right? If it gets really loud and you get your ears blown out, I apologize. The UI scale doesn't actually affect the UI panel. Is that right? Maybe if I hit apply. Alright, never mind. Oh no, it did. Okay, it did. Awesome. Never mind. I'm sorry. I apologize. I just thought it was funny. It applies when you close it. Okay. I mean, that's nice. I do feel like there's no reason not to just cap that out for me personally. So, first things first. Well, first things first. If we click on these, it just says, I've not figured out what this is, but it plays this little, like, shifting eyeball cutscene. This game, like, when it shows me this, I want to bring this up again. This feels like that AI generated art where it goes, this is what an AI made after I fed it all of this information. What do you think it means? Oh, does this like... Oh, I see. Hey, you know what this is? The copper ring has an ultimate every 3rd shot, it looks like. I'm gonna keep fiddling with the audio just a little bit. I want to lower the sound effect there. You know, I don't think it moved. I'm gonna move on. Anyway, big thing I want to point out here too, monsters don't actually do contact damage to you. They have to hit you with a real attack. Like, you see how his swing hit me there? His little tentacle swing hit me there? That was him actually hitting me with an attack. If you can walk into him as much as you want, though. Which is cool. And it makes a lot more sense now that they said, yeah, the monsters are, like, AI or procedurally generated. Because I thought they were really weird looking at first. And I think that that's absolutely the point, as this is an eldritch horror sort of game. The point is that you don't ever look at a monster and go, oh yeah, I know what this guy is. You look at it and you go, oh my goodness. Now, something that I think is really cool about this game and the way that it works is if you hit an enemy in the limb, first of all, you see how it does multiple damage based on the limbs. I'm gonna mess with it again, I'm sorry. I just saw it drown me out a little bit there. Like that much. It has big spikes of audio, which is always the hardest to balance. But first of all, you do multiple damage to an enemy based on their multiple limbs. The second of all, you can actually cut their limbs off, which I think is really cool. Like, you can just start cutting and chopping up their bodies, which I think will matter more when you get later on, maybe. Like, you can just take away their ability to attack you as far as I can tell. This area here is like a little challenge room. Drop me a basic hood. If you don't have something equipped, it auto-equips it. This gives us more health and fire resistance. I can see the enemies getting a lot trickier towards the end. Ooh, that hit me for 15? God damn. Hit me for 11. You guys are bodying me. My greatest foe, a turret. What's this heal for? You have to hold it? Oh, okay, it's like a little regen. It's not an insta-heal. I see. Honestly, that looks pretty cool. The dude on top of the house, just kind of leaning there. That looks pretty sick. I have become a pretty big opponent of procedural generation, if I'm going to be 100% honest with you these days. I much prefer more handcrafted stuff. But because like the moment there of that guy just sitting on top of the tower, on top of the house there, I feel like, oh yeah, I'm not moving that way. I feel like you could make a lot more of those and have them be more impactful if you were handcrafting the game, basically. But at the same time, replayability value gets hurt a little bit by handcrafting the dash out of this. So it's a bit of a trade-off, more or less, is what I'm trying to say. And that's fine. I think that you gotta find where your enjoyable position is. Hey, what is my one, by the way? I picked something up that I didn't see. I'll have to check that here in a second. I do also find that sometimes enemies just get caught like this guy does sometimes, which is fine. Because it looked like he actually like blew off one of his limbs to fit through there, which would be really neat if that was how that worked. What does this do? Ah, floating crystal follows you. So this is like on 1 and 2 we have these little cooldown type things. So this is a 15-second cooldown, and it's gonna shoot at enemies for us. Just a little bit. Like, again, the aesthetic here is what they're really trying to push, and to be completely honest with you, I was very trade 30 health for a little treasure chest. I take right. Hood of speed 3. The runner's choice. Movement speed up. That's pretty sick. For sure. But yeah, I was not super sold on this game initially, but it has grown on me pretty significantly in the little bit that I played of it. Doubt. I love the way the little effect makes it shift like that, though. That looks so cool. Really nailing the aesthetic they're going for here with those. Where the hell am I? How do I... Whoa! Hey, mister. Hey, brother. Get off of me, please. I should be pressing 1 on cooldown, more or less. You know what? I'm coming around on the dash in directions there, because I was able to keep firing while I dashed without thinking too much. So, most of what I said at the start, not most of it, I still think the visual clarity is a real issue. But, there you go. There was a door there. No, as I play it, this game is definitely growing on me. My first impressions of it, like my very first impressions were, I thought it was extremely clunky, but as I've been playing more, yeah, there goes one of his limbs, by the way. As I'm playing more, it's really starting to grow on me, actually. You're witnessing me come around on this game in real time. This is the ladder, though. This is what I was talking about earlier. This is that real, you can jump on this. And man, I got so stuck on that at first. It took me a while to really grasp that. I think I died in 1 hit. Think this game has mimics? I check every treasure chest. What's this? Rather small pearl, but it may fetch a good price. It's like a little money. There is a shop in world somewhere. I've seen it once in my last run. Oh yeah, we can drop down these. No penalty for swimming, by the way. You can just go through water. Kind of refreshing, to be honest with you, because I feel like all of these types of games are always like, oh, water, that's death. So it's nice to have it be not death for once. I think we're about to reach the end of this area pretty soon here. I'm going to end it when I get to the end of this area, because I don't want to spend a ton of time on this game. I feel like I've given it a good overview for you, and a good overview for me. Hey, buddy. I can't dash through these, or maybe I might have actually just dashed in place. You can actually see where you're gonna go with your dash. It has a little line, which is nice. Hey, bud. I, for one, choose to believe that me and the Eldritch Horrors are good friends. This is my brother, my good buddy. Long Limb Joe. I went for, oh, you know what I should have done there? I got it. It's actually Long Limb Larry. I tried, I'm gonna go Long Limb and I want to do alliteration and I called him Joe. This guy looks like a boss. His health bar looks a little different. The bosses do have special attacks. His finger is lighting up. But, and one other thing that I think is kind of interesting here, there goes one of his legs. The bosses don't actually lock you into an arena. I don't think he was a boss, by the way. I think the bosses have a blue health bar. But you don't actually get locked in an arena against the bosses. You can just run. This looks like the... I have no idea where I am. What the hell? Where the heck am I? Oh, zoom out shot? Big castle. Oh, I'm gonna have to go through the castle, I see. But no, I was expecting to like this less as I played it more, but really just make sure that you can see, like crank your brightness up a little bit. And I would appreciate if they put in some sort of a brightness option in the menu. That would be like #1 wish list. Give me the ability to adjust my brightness in this game, please. Otherwise, basically everything else that I've said I've more or less changed on. But it's still a little loud too, but that's not really a problem that you have to worry about as someone playing the game yourself. It's really just a problem for me to worry about. Actually, one more time here. I'm gonna turn everything else down. I want to get the music up because I've got the music super low right now. The soundtrack is kind of bumping. I'm just gonna like turn this down and then turn master volume up. Yeah, I'm gonna jam out for a little bit, let the music play. Because they do also have the soundtrack available for you to buy separately if you're so inclined. I think I messed that up. Can I make this? Nah, I don't think so. I've actually silenced the sound effects though. Hold, magic effects. Let me turn it up a little bit more. Again, numbers here would be helpful. That's acceptable. I think that this is a good enough audio level. Maybe I should have taken time to audio balance before I started the video, but at the same time, man, I thought I did. There you go. Here's where I can go. I think I just killed that guy with the door. I just killed that guy with the door. That's a door, right? Yeah. I like everything. My feelings though, I also felt like the monster design was going to be something that I was going to really go, man, I don't really know what I'm looking at here. But I realized as I played this more that it's kind of the point that I have no idea what I'm looking at here. That is so loud. 3 Arcane Guardians. Ah. I haven't figured out which one controls the clunk sound when you open the menu yet, but if I do, I'll turn that down as well. That looks like a big boy. Yo, where'd this guy come from? Arcane Guardians, get me out of this shit. I'm gonna go through them here. You can kind of play around where the actual limbs are for fighting these enemies, which is neat. This doesn't seem like a game though, where like, so in Rogue Legacy, for example, because that's the roguelike that I've been playing lately that I think is most akin to this, that's a game where you can look at an enemy and you're always going to know where they're going to be attacking you, like how their pattern is going to go, with some variation, right? Because they'll have different attack patterns and such. But this is a game where like, I look at the enemy and I go, yeah, I've literally never seen this enemy before. I have no idea what they're going to do to me. I think if I want to here, I can dash through this. Yeah, I could. The greatest eldritch horror of all. Chicken. Can I kill the chicken? I'm not going to. I'm not a chicken killer. This is the shop. I have been here before. What are you buying? Oh, wait. Like, it is so loud. I apologize. I'm giving up on audio balancing. This is the end. I have Cthulhu 1. Bonus damage and projectile speed. So we have accrued $1,300. Engulf your enemies in flames. I want to try a new weapon. I'm pretty sure. Let me see what this guy has. He has special goods. Lightning lance? Stun enemies on hit? I gotta go for... I'm a big lightning enjoyer. Ask me what my favorite weapon type, or my favorite magic type is. That's right, it's lightning. I have Cthulhu 2, 1827. I don't have enough. You can have my basic hood though. You go, buddy. Love the violin music though. Oh, kind of nuts here. Oh, it's not just a lightning bolt. I'm kind of disappointed. A little bit disappointed. I do feel like this game is going to be something that if you can stomach it, just play it on controller. I don't even know why I don't play on controller, to be honest with you. At this point, I really just should. I want to reach the end of the first area before I wrap up here. So I'm just gonna keep progressing on here. You'll know. Or I might also just kill myself trying to speed. I do feel a little bit like a lot of the ranged weapons are just kind of nuts. 1, 2. This has an ultimate. When does it happen? Oh, you know what? I think it says it on the ring actually, when the ultimate happens. Yeah, and it just says that like arc. I think it says it on here, right? Yeah, I think it's every 7th attack is the ultimate. Look at all that blood. Those rocks, they almost got me. No, even just after my first play though of this game and into the second one, I'm having a lot of moments of like, oh, this looks vaguely familiar, and then it doesn't. Like it's not actually. Like, oh, this looks vaguely familiar. Yeah, here's our end of combat boss, I think. Maybe. I have no idea actually. This looks familiar, but it doesn't actually mean anything that it looks familiar, because that's the point. Really, I'm impressed with how well they've captured this Lovecraftian feel of, oh hey, have I been here before? I don't know. I really do feel like I'm going mad. Truly. I am going insane, perhaps. Madness will take me soon. Just dash through and keep kiting. I'm not counting my ultimate damage. Like, I'm not counting for it. I know because the cooldown goes up. That's how I know when the ultimate's about to happen. Can I do water magic to put out that fire? Huh. That's a weird place to put your house, I'm gonna be real with you. In the middle of a cliffside like that? Like just in a canyon, you put your house there? How the hell do you get into that? In this 2D world. Like, I dropped a hood, but I'm not going in there. I'm not finding out if fire damage kills me. These Arcane Guardians cooldown way faster than I thought they did too. I thought these had a much longer cooldown. In my last run I had some like cooldown reducing thing that let me rapid fire my spells. And that had like it had a very long cooldown. When their limbs fly off like that though, it looks pretty cool. Oh, careful. No lightning, no... This little zone that he shot down, the boss that I fought last time had this. It acts as like a little gravity well where my abilities go flying through it. And also if I step in it, I take damage. Not a ton of damage, but enough to be like, hey, I don't want to step in that because my house is at 33. Like, it looks pretty cool when the enemies split apart like that. Yeah, I wish that I had taken the time. I should have paused. This is the boss. This is actually the boss. I've said it like 3 times, but like, this is actually the boss. Also, oh god, can you still hear me? He's so loud. He's so loud. Why is he so loud? Oh my god, he fit through there? No way. I win this, trust. Oh! He almost got me with the overhead slammer, but then I just cut it off with my lightning bolt. Okay, so he is going to take fire damage in there, so I can just bait him into the fire too. Now that I killed his overhead slammer move, I think it should be fine, although he is kind of gaining on me going down this hill. Oh, careful. Nice. Got him. Ooh, he dropped. It does seem like maybe... That's an attack, isn't it? I don't trust that blue orb chasing me. It seems like the bosses of areas drop upgraded versions of your current weapons. Because when I last fought him, I also... Because he just gave me Lightning Lance 2, and I have Lightning Lance 1. Now I said bosses, plural, because... I think there's another one. I think that's what this blue orb is from. No, careful. Don't get me. Maybe there's not another one. Yeah, no, there isn't. And I think I should get my E back. So when you finish a zone, like that was one level, I would say. We can now, if you so desire, save and quit or move on. I will be saving and quitting here. This is where I ended my personal time with the game as well. So overall, I think that this game has one major glaring flaw, which if they work out, sick, basically. I think that the visual clarity stuff where things blend into the background, once you get used to it, it's not that big of a deal. My real biggest complaint is that this game is so dark. And maybe it's not that dark now, but again, I just had to crank my brightness on my monitor up from 40 to 100, which sucks. Yeah, that's it. It just sucks. Other than that, audio is also a bit of a nightmare, but the music kind of bangs from what I could hear of it. Just, you know, give me numbers in the menus and give me the ability to control the brightness of the game in-game so I don't have to do it on my monitor, and I think that this game's sick. I think that this is probably worth it. I don't know how much time there is to put into the game, but based on the very long skill tree and things like that, looks like a lot of fun. I think it's worth a look. Actually, what I want to check here real quick is, can I... If you walk through to a new area, does your health bar reset? I imagine it does not. But we probably get the health potion back. I want to check that real quick. I'm waiting. I'm loading. Health bar does not reset. But we have a Blessels. Maybe the E is something else. Maybe per level is not something that I understand. Anyway, I'm gonna wrap it up here. I just wanted to check that real quick. Since I was here, it was on my mind. But yeah, I think overall this game is worth a look. If this looks interesting to you, this is probably sick. I think that this is something that, if you're sold on the Lovecraft style and you really like that style of art, you're probably gonna really dig this game. And if you're not, well, you know, it still seems pretty fun. I think that the Diablo style abilities, Diablo's maybe not, again, not the best way to compare it, but the inventory management and the gear loadout stuff is very reminiscent to me. So I think it's cool. I think it's worth maybe taking a look at. So yeah, that's it. That's the video. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed, don't forget to leave me a like, subscribe if you want to see more, and I will see you in the next one.